How's it going, everybody? We are back with another FPL deadline stream. I got the gloves on today because it is absolutely freezing in my house right now. Yeah, the bad weather brought along a lot of cold, a winter storm, one might say, and it's just sapped all the what warmth there was straight out of the air. So it is quite cold right now. So I got a little bit of the heater on. I might have to turn that off. Just trying to take the dampness out of the room. But usually I'm quite good with the cold. Being a little bit of a bigger guy, bigger guys tend to like the cold a little bit better than the heat. And yeah, it is one of those things where this is a bit too much cold for me. So yeah, but yeah, Game Week 21 deadline stream. We're going to be taking a look at the season ticker, goals and minute table as we usually do. And I'm in a bit of a transfer mess. I don't know what to do. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. But yeah. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get straight into it. So, I have updated all of the stuff on this side. So we have the official Game Week rank. We're just inside the top 800k, which is good. We had a Game Week rank of 187k, which is good. I enjoy those rank rises. And I don't know what to do. Hey, Harry Legend, how's it going? Glad to see that you have joined us today. I'm glad that everyone can join us today because Game Week 21, quick turnaround, and I don't know what to do with my transfers. This is how I currently have the team set up. Chris Wood's not going to stay there. He's just in there. Actually, let me just change him out just in case. Just in case if something goes awry and the transfers don't go through or whatever, I'd rather play Bamford over Chris Wood, that's for sure. But yeah, so defense is looking good. I like the defense. I'm probably gonna keep Martinez in there. Hazard, how's it going? Yeah, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. All those sorts of things wherever you are in the world. For me, it's a very early morning that I've gotten accustomed to now. It's more of excitement. Digne captain. Okay, well, I mean that's not the craziest thing I've heard this week. There's so many different captaincies that I've gone through in my head that I've also seen people taking. Like I'm gonna bring up a notepad. Where's notepad? Notepad. So some of the captaincy options that I've seen this week. Font 26. I've seen Digne. I've seen Cancelo. I've seen Harvey Barnes. I've seen Zaha. I've seen so many. So many. Like some of these are just like absolutely mental for me. But some of them are warranted. Triple City defense, no attackers. Yeah, I had. It was nerve-wracking watching the City game last week, and it paid off. Cancelo 17, Stones and Diaz 6 points. My transfers last week was Robertson out and De Bruyne out for Son, who got 2 points, and I would have played Kufau. So that's a net 1 point there. Well, obviously with the -4, that's -3 in the hole. But Stones got 4 points more than Robertson, so I was 1 point up. So if City doesn't keep a clean sheet, then yeah, we're a bit in the bin. But they're versus Sheffield United and Burnley. I sound different today because I'm using this mic here, and that's because it's first thing in the morning. And I try to keep the volume down a little bit lower. Also got the gloves on today because it's absolutely freezing. So yeah, this mic actually originally doesn't sound like this. I had to change the voice meter to make it like super on the normal side, because otherwise it sounds like literally I'm talking through a tin can attached to a string. So yeah, let's take a look at the chat here. Good morning, Zaka. How are you? I was here. What do you reckon on Kane's injury? I think he'll be out a few weeks. I think he'll be out a few weeks. I think Kane has had injury problems with his ankles in the past, and that's been his main cause of injuries pretty much his whole career. Um, so yeah, I think he'll be out a couple of weeks, but that means Son goes through the middle and has done. If they play with Vinicius through the middle, probably makes things a little bit better, but we'll have to see on that one. I'm still have to wait and see. We'll know more after Spurs game versus Brighton. I think they play on Sunday. That's that game and the Liverpool game I'm the most intrigued about this week. Um, hey Zodiac, how's it going? Hi Pilot, hope you're doing well. Need some help with the team. Now here's the current team. So Martinez looks good. Stones, Cancelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mitchell looks good. Sterling, Salah, Rafinha, Bruno looks fine. Antonio Bamford, and then McCarthy, Adams, Suchek, and Taylor on the bench. Tempting to a -4 to bring in either Digne or Trent Alexander-Arnold for Watkins. Either Digne for Trent or Watkins for Adams. Personally, I would bring in. I like Watkins. I would say Watkins is probably good, and then it allows you to basically play TAA, Cancelo, Stones, and then you play three up front. You can play Bamford, Antonio, and Watkins, and have like the cheap front three. I like that move better for you. Personally, I think Adams has just been terrible. Personally, he may score against Aston Villa, but I don't think their fixtures are very good. If I go to where's Southampton? Southampton. Yeah, Aston Villa, Man United. I mean, they have Newcastle, but are they really getting any goals? And all the way up until Gameweek 26, maybe afterwards they might be looking good. But apart from that, yeah, not looking too good. Hey, Jankster man, how's it going? You wear gloves inside because you're freezing? Yes, I do. Because my hands get. The problem is with COVID and all the nonsense that's still going on in the world, all the vaccines are still being rolled out. My hands have been super, super dry because if you use hand sanitizer, it basically alcohol saps the moisture out of your hands. And the heat allows that to basically, basically get that back, as it were. In warmer climates, your hands are not as dry. And if I put the gloves on, it keeps them warm until my heater starts kicking in, which is doing a good job at the moment. Rodrigo, Saka, or Mitchell? I have to bench two. I would bench. Let's actually take a look at the fixtures. Who does Mitchell play this week? Wolves. Honestly, I mean, Saka's at home and has been doing well, so I would probably say him. But I wouldn't be surprised that Mitchell keeps a clean sheet. Definitely not Rodrigo. I don't think Rodrigo's going to do anything versus Leicester. And I agree with Saka. Starting Saka's probably the best show. It is a tough one. I was here. I'm keeping Kane for this round with Bamford on the bench. Yeah, I mean, if Kane doesn't play, then you obviously have Bamford that's going to come in. He might. Is it Mourinho mind games? I think Kane's actually injured. Like, if Kane comes off injured, then then it is a bit of a problem. Hazard, should I wildcard early to set my team up for double game week 26 since I don't have any more free hits or for the blank game week and triple captain? I mean, you can. That's one strategy that everyone's using. What you may want to do is try to see if you can set your team up using transfers, and then maneuver yourself with transfers out of it, and then wildcard after the fact. That's another strat that you can do. Zodiac says, get a good fat cream on your hands. I don't know what that means, as I am a chef and use alcohol. I don't know the English word. Hand sanitizer. So I'm used to that to protect my hands. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I use lotion all the time, but yeah. I'm hoping Kane is back for West Brom. I think that's probably going to be around the time he's going to be back. Is everyone Scandinavian in the chat? There are a few people from Scandinavia in the chat. From what I can tell, I believe Norwegian is the exact. And it looks like they're talking mostly about Chelsea's formation and how they're going to set up versus Burnley. If I can get the translations correct. How cold is it? Very, very, very cold. we're talking. There's a whole bunch of nonsense outside, and winter storms don't help that. Um, yeah, lotion is the word, or moisturizer is another term for it as well. Whatever you want to talk about. Basically something that keeps your hands full of nutrients effectively. That's what moisturizer does. And Barnes captain maybe. He's one of the players that I'm potentially looking at. So yeah, in terms of like I feel so lost with captaincy this week. Am I the only one? No, I think it's the captaincy is definitely a bit of a nonsense this week. So yeah, I think it is a bit nuts, because if you look at the fixtures that are potentially like good on paper, Everton versus Newcastle, Crystal Palace versus Wolves actually isn't that bad. City versus Sheffield United. You're not going near West Brom Fulham. You're not going near Arsenal Man United. Maybe Aston Villa versus Southampton. Chelsea versus Burnley, probably not. Leicester versus Leeds could be a goal fest, so that could be interesting. West Ham versus Liverpool is a bit maybe, and then Brighton Spurs is still a bit maybe too. So I would say probably the best fixture on paper in terms of potential attack versus potential defense is this one. Problem is, it's right in the beginning of the game week, which is a bit of a nuisance. So, Captain Sterling, yeah, if you have Sterling this week, I think that's fantastic. I look at my team, I think it's awesome, but don't want to captain any. That's awkward. Yeah, I mean, that's like my team. Like I kind of look at them and I'm just like, and even next week is probably gonna be bad too. Leno or Johnston in goal? Probably Johnston just. Because I still think Leno can pull off saves versus United. Although I think both teams will probably concede. I think I predicted a 1-1. Magnus Carlsen is top 2K. Yeah, he was way up there. Came like what, 4th last season or something like that. He was top 10 or something. He's nuts. Imagine being the best chess player in the world and being really good at FPO. He is quite good. But yeah, when you look at the team here, I'm just like, do I want to captain Son? No, they're a bit of an unknown entity. Antonio and Bamford, that's not going to happen. Fernandes versus Arsenal, probably not. Salah's probably my best option at the moment. And I'm scared to captain Cancelo if he gets benched. Didn't Magnus Carlsen captain Antonio versus Norwich last season? Maybe. He might have. Imagine being good at something. Come on, you there's something you're probably good at. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. You could be good at eating. If you eat a lot, technically, does that mean you're good at eating? I don't know. Actually, to come to think about it, if you're able to eat what you want, technically you're a good eater, I guess. Because some people have to eat specific things, otherwise it messes them up. I'm so happy I dumped the captain from Bruno to Sterling last week. Got me a green arrow. Yeah, Sterling was a good shout last week, and it'll probably be a good shout this week too. In the first half, I thought he was a bit kind of greedy. I thought that he was, a bit out of it. But he grew into the game a little bit, got his chance, scored, which was I could have probably scored that, to be honest. And then his assist was quite good as well. I'm capping Werner this week. Ready to get burnt by him again, I see. But no, if Werner plays, I mean, if there's anyone that's going to get anything out of him, it's a German coach, right? In Thomas Tuchel or Tuchel, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but see, I was as the idea. Who's the vice captain? That's the real question, because you might need it. Cancelo, that could be potentially very good. Cancelo starts versus Sheffield United, blasts them out of the water, gets another goal assist or something like that. And then Werner starts on the bench, comes on in the 89th minute for a single point. That'd be unlucky. As a half German, I should be a Chelsea fan. I'm trying to think which teams. I don't think United have any German players at the moment. I think, yeah, Chelsea probably have the most German players now that I think about it. Yeah, I think Chelsea do have the most German players, at least internationals, that is, that I can think of. Not worried Salah's going to blank. I don't think the captaincy's going to stay on him. Who do you think gets a double game week in 26? Well, I can actually show you that in just a second. If I can find where I put it, basically. I retweeted it yesterday. So this is basically what we're looking at here. If I can, so you can see this part of the table. The rest of the stuff is involving blanks. Let me see if I can make it a little bit on the bigger side. So basically, the two teams that could potentially get a double. Well, there's one team that if they're going to get a double before 26, it's Man City. And then the other team that could potentially get a double is either Everton and Southampton. Those are the two. It's going to be either or, basically, before that. And then going into that week, City's almost certainly going to have a double. Southampton, Everton will probably have a double. Whichever one doesn't basically play beforehand, the other one will, certainly in 26. And these ones in yellow are the most likely ones. So Burnley's likely to have a double, although it's not very good. Crystal Palace is almost certainly going to have a double. Man United's almost certainly going to have a double. It's going to be a lot of teams with doubles, basically. And these are all the different permutations. In this table, I retweeted yesterday, and you can see the possibility of blanks and that sort of stuff. But we will know this information. We will know the information about Game Week 24 soon. And we'll know the information about Game Week 26 in between 23 and 24. Because Ben Krellin, the guy who made this table, will work it out for us. And he is the kind of fixture guru, and I'm surprised Premier League hasn't actually hired him. So, what I'll do is I'll post the link to the table in the chat if you guys want to check it out. I think Salah will blank. Yeah, I think Salah might blank, personally, which is why I don't want to keep the captaincy on him, and we'll talk about transfers in just a second. Werner gonna play after Giroud. Well, the thing is, Werner's a completely different player than Abraham and Giroud. I think Abraham and Giroud are kind of similar-ish players, except Abraham has a little bit more speed. He's got a little bit more pace about him. So I think if you're gonna, I think what Tuchel should do is he should play a 4-2-2 system. If you're gonna get the best out of Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, you need them closer to the goal. That's step number one. Step number two is that Timo Werner needs somebody to run off of. So like when he played at Leipzig, he had Poulsen who basically chested the ball down, knocked it down, and spun it in behind for Werner. That's what Werner needs. Werner needs the ball closer to him when he's played in behind, so that he doesn't really have to do much with it. So yeah, it's just a matter of how do you play Havertz, Werner, Giroud, or Abraham, Pulisic, Ziyech, Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi. How do you fit all these players into the team, you know, or get the best mix of players? Van der Beek is kind of close. He's Dutch. Yeah, because Dutch people speak what? Is it German and French? But they also have their own language too. I could be wrong on that. Because I think Belgians also speak German and French. German in their own language. Okay, that makes sense. Because I know Belgians, it's kind of a similar-ish territory. Anybody else a Chelsea fan here? Not me. Zaka is, though. I know he's a Chelsea fan. Was a lot of price changes this morning? Yeah, there was. But people were bringing in DCL like crazy, expecting him to go up in price, and he was never going to go up in price because he was locked. Because he came back off injury. And usually when players come back off injury, they're locked for like a week or something like that. I think Werner will start as a front attacker this game week with Havertz in behind. I think that could work out quite fine. Gonna play Havertz behind Werner with Pulisic and Ziyech on each wing. I'm still waiting to see that in a 4-2-3-1 type of system. So, but yeah, it should definitely be interesting. But yeah, let's take a look at the old goals imminent table here. This is something from Fantasy Football Scout, which is it's a table that was created by one of the main members there, Jonty or Joe. If you follow Fantasy Football Scout, if you don't know what you're doing, go over there, subscribe to their channel. They have this members area, which is powered by OptaStats. I think it's £20 for the whole year. You can create all these different custom tables. You can see other people's custom tables, heat maps, season ticker, rate my teams, all that sort of stuff. And this is one of the tables that somebody's created, which is basically called the goals imminent table, which is a table that basically shows players that have been missed big chances with a minimum of 10 goal attempts over the last 4 matches. So some players on there is Trezeguet, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, who scored in the last game, Bruno Fernandes, Heung-min Son, Bamford, who's desperately due a goal on there, Kevin De Bruyne, obviously he's not going to get one anytime soon, Harvey Barnes, another player I'm looking to bring in, McBurney, and Hakim Ziyech. So these are all players that are potentially looking to be on the score sheet soon, based on the number of attempts they've had. Kind of tempted to go with Kane to DCL for -4. I mean, you can definitely do that, but we'll see. I think Chelsea will line up like this: Mendy, Azpilicueta, Chilwell, Silva, and Rudiger, Kante, Jorginho, Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, and Abraham. I think I would change one player in that team if you're going to go with that team, and I would go with Reece James instead of Azpilicueta, because if you're going to play Havertz in a 4-2-2-2 system, actually no, because you can put Havertz out on the left in the 4-2-2-2 system and just have him come inside and basically have Chilwell effectively playing his left wing, which is what you can do. Mount's going to play, we'll see. Mount, our best player this season. Has Mount been the best player of the season for Chelsea? would say Chilwell for a time has been really good, and Reece James was good, but they've both been injured. So I'd probably say on the whole, I'd probably say Mount is probably the best player. But I think Mount can play in that deeper lying two, like that double pivot, like where you see Conte and Jorginho. I think Mount can play in that role because he's tenacious, he's quick, he has an eye for a pass, he has a good long shot. So, he came in and changed the whole game when we played versus Wolves. Yeah, he did look lively as well. He was Lampard's kind of player. Yeah, that's true. He was a Chelsea lad, you know. The thing is, though, there was one note I saw. Another great podcast, the FPL Wire. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to go give those guys some love over there. Subscribe to that channel. They do a pod pretty much every week. When it's congested, they do one for 2 weeks. They had a stat, like a table up of like how Thomas Tuchel basically organizes his team, and one of the key components in it is that he likes a midfielder, a deeper lying midfielder that can receive the ball out from the back quite comfortably and has an eye for a pass. That to me seems like Jorginho, personally. Thomas Tuchel is more like Maurizio Sarri than he is Lampard. He's not all the way towards, like, if there's a spectrum to Maurizio Sarri to Lampard, like if this is the spectrum, Tuchel's like just over the halfway line, I would say. And Rudiger's also very, very good with the ball at his feet too. Much better than Zuma, that is. So I would line up in a 4-2-2-2 as well. The problem is that if you play Pulisic and Ziyech and you play Werner with a forward, who's that forward going to be? Is it going to be Havertz next to him? Is it going to be Abraham? Is it going to be Giroud? And if so, one of those three or two of those three get dropped. So, but yeah, we'll see. In terms of, forgot to bring up the captaincy table, but I'll do that in a second. But this is the team stats table. So this shows the defensive stats for teams, and it is organized by XG conceded. So this is teams that are conceding way more goals than what they should, aka like they call in the Scoutcast, the whipping boys, as it were. Basically, teams that will concede a lot. And what we have is West Brom's at the top of that. And Sheffield United's up there, and Wolves are up there as well. Surprised to see West Ham are up there. And down the bottom, Burnley, Fulham, Arsenal, and this is over the last 6 matches. In terms of big chances conceded, though, that's big chances total. Big chances conceded. West Brom, Leeds, Chelsea, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, all up there. So basically, Calvert-Lewin looks quite good this week. And Leicester looks good this week. And then Fulham and West Brom play each other, which is a bit unfortunate. But if you're playing, that's why Salah versus West Ham doesn't look as good, because they don't concede very many big chances. Only 5 over the last 6 matches, so less than 1 a match. Mendy, James, Silva, center back, Chilwell, Mount, Conte, Adoy, Havertz, Ziyech, and Werner. I still think you need, Havertz could play in the front line. I think he should play in the front line potentially, but who do they play when they play for Germany? That would be the interesting thing, because basically, however they play for Germany, set them up like that, because that's how they play good. I hope Reece James starts. He's probably the best right back in the league at the moment. Defense is Wan-Bissaka, and offense is like Trent. Perfect mix. I'd probably say what isn't as good as Wan-Bissaka defensively, but yeah, he's really good. So they play Havertz as kind of like a shadow striker. So they have like Werner here and Havertz is like kind of playing just in behind him like that. Yeah. So effectively like a fake front two. All right. And then what do they have? They have what, like, is Gnabry German? They have what, Sane and Gnabry as their wide players? And then they have, what, Kimmich and Goretzka or something like that. Is Goretzka German? I think Goretzka's German. Kimmich, Goretzka, that's a scary team. Now that I think about that, it's basically just Bayern Munich, except you have no Lewandowski, really. Would be a big miss, but yeah. They could use Werner and Havertz like Kane and Son. That's not a bad shout, you know. I didn't think of it that way. The only thing that Kane does really well is he knows when to drop in, and he knows how to like spin on the pivot and release the ball in behind. I'm not sure Havertz has the basically the bulk, the strength to hold off Premier League defenders like that. Triple captain Werner Inc. Please don't do that. Even if he scores a hat trick this week, please don't do that. Kane much better with his back to goal. Yeah, exactly. Let me bring up the XGI so we can see what we're looking for in terms of captaincy options this week. So over the last 6 matches, I'm just gonna adjust this really quick. So some captaincy shouts this week. We got Harvey Barnes, Bruno Fernandes, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Sadio Mane, Son, somewhere around here. Gundogan, Sterling, Calvert-Lewin. Am I missing anybody else out? Obviously, there's defenders in there too, but so this is organized based on expected goal involvement. This is over the last 6 matches, and top of the table is Sadio Mane. And Calvert-Lewin's down the bottom, which isn't ideal. But mind you, Calvert-Lewin hasn't had his full team, which is, you know, a bit iffy. I'm not putting Timo Werner on the table. A normal captain is enough for me. Yeah, a normal captain is enough for me too. Good morning, Manu. How's it going? Is Cancelo essential or Chilwell over the next 5? I would say Cancelo's the most essential defender over the next 2 for sure. But again, we don't know what we're going to get out of Chilwell. He might start playing Alonso. We don't know. Nice with the active chat in the beginning was kind of only even more people have been active the last weeks. Yeah, see? When you get more people coming into the chat, it's a lot nicer. Lots more interactivity. Werner's last goal in the Prem came against Burnley, I think. It's been a while, I think, since Werner has scored. But yeah, Sterling, Gundogan look to be good options. Salah is dipping off in the last 4. His stats are worse. Harvey Barnes' stats over the last 6 aren't as good. Calvert-Lewin's are way off, so it's kind of making me want to putting me off, you know, captaining anyone outside of the ordinary and just keep it simple, stupid, and just go with Salah, to be honest, even though he might not even score. But the thing is, if you go with Salah this week, I don't think you can really be punished, like, because there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to be like, I don't know who to captain, so I'm going to captain Salah and Fernandes anyway, so you deserve more viewers for sure. Thanks, Zodiac. I keep trying to stress for people to come in and watch on the live streams because it's a lot more fun. Although it's probably going to be a bit hectic when I see the chat just going whoom and just flying up the screen. So, yeah, that's going to be a bit interesting because I like to try to see every comment, every post, all that sort of stuff. But, yeah. Let me see if I can find, because I was waiting to see if somebody, I want to see if Mark, who's on FPL Black Box, has given us who Severts, who is somebody who had the most captaincy points last season out of any other player. He hasn't given us his captaincy stuff as of yet, which I'm kind of interested to see. Cancelo or Son in though? Probably Cancelo. If I had to choose. Okay, the heating is too much now. That's got to go off. And the gloves are off. Hands are warm now. Best FPL defense option? Yeah, I think so. He's been really good. If we actually take a look at the season ticker here, so this is the organized by attack in the next 5 game weeks. So if we look at the teams at the top, top 5 is West Ham, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Fulham, and Man United is actually at the top. So I think Rashford is, should be a very Arsenal game for him, like a very if he's going to get him behind them and score, I can see him definitely doing it. Southampton, same thing. Everton, same thing. And then West Brom and Newcastle, which is bad. So United should be able to do good versus them. But United need to turn around versus Arsenal this week. Because if they don't, then people are going to be like, well, is United the real deal? We'll see. If I could pick any player as my first choice in my team, no matter what value, be Cancelo. Yeah. He's quite good at the moment. In defense, Crystal Palace is actually up there. And I saw this as well. Wolves, Newcastle, Leeds, Burnley, Brighton. It's some pretty good defensive fixtures. Which is why I tipped Crystal Palace to potentially get a clean sheet this week versus Wolves, because Wolves don't score very many. Man United's also up there. Chelsea's up there. Fulham and West Brom, surprisingly. Even when he didn't return, his stats was amazing. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, Salah, it's not like Salah hasn't scored recently. He scored a goal versus Spurs, which was disallowed because Firmino decided to hand the ball. And he scored 2 in the FA Cup versus United. So, also fun fact: Salah scored in the last 3 times he's played against West Ham. Funnily enough. I think Salah would do well in the following games, but I don't think a -8 is worth to get him. Yeah, I don't think so. I would save that sort of transfer, and I would look to get him potentially the following week when he plays Brighton at home. That is more of a Liverpool type of game, a team that plays out and tries to basically do the same thing that they do, and Liverpool are just typically better at doing that. So I think Salah captaincy next week is pretty much nailed on, personally. But let's talk transfers. So I have a bit of dilemma. I need you guys' help this week. So I have a couple of different options. I definitely want Calvert-Lewin for sure. All players, Calvert-Lewin, and he can come in for either Chris Wood or Bamford. I don't really care because I probably won't play Bamford anyway. And I can go with just that. So then I would have basically Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, Salah, Fernandez, Son, Souček, and then either Rafinha or Bamford. I'll play one of them. And then I have Stones, Cancelo, Diaz, and then I'll have Martinez in goal. But I think the -4 is worth it because I'm definitely going to play Souček. I want to play Souček versus Liverpool. I really want to play him versus Liverpool because it could be Jordan Henderson and Nat Phillips down the back. Again, and Liverpool don't have much height, and Souček is wham, as we know. He is well tall. That's not even proper English, but he's very tall. And could cause problems. Antonio could also cause problems on the break as well. So I was thinking getting rid of Rafinha, just take my points and run. And then either go with Grealish is one. Harvey Barnes is another one. And then the other outside shout was Wilfred Zaha as well. James Rodriguez, I've had him before. And if I knew he was like, I think Everton's fixtures are good, but I don't think they're like good. I think like it's just one of those ones where he is. Sometimes he's just in and out. Yeah, he's on some set pieces too. And they are versus Newcastle. So maybe he picks them apart. But I just don't like having a lot of players in the first fixture. If I was you, I would swap Fernandes to Havertz. You're saying that because you're a Chelsea fan, I think. James Rodriguez over Barnes over James Rodriguez. Yeah, I think so as well. You still got value in Bamford. I would keep him. He got most shots. Leeds on a good day would score versus everyone. On a good day, Burnley can hardly score in training. Yeah, that's true. But I think versus Leicester, they're going to struggle. Which is why I'm not looking to play Bamford anyway. Zach obviously hopeful that Werner is going to get 3 goals and Havertz 3 assists. That would be interesting. But the players that I'm excuse me, that I'm definitely playing this week. I'm playing Martinez over Johnston, even though Johnston has Fulham. I think Martinez is just as likely of a clean sheet versus Southampton. And we'll probably end up with more save points anyway. Stones, Cancelo, Diaz in defense. Salah, Fernandes, Son, and Souček are definitely playing. And I'm bringing Calvert-Lewin and Antonio would definitely play. It's just a matter, who do I play? Do I play Rafinha if I keep him? Or Bamford if I keep him? Or do I bring in another midfielder for a -4 to play them? If I do this, it'll probably be... I don't know who I'm going to captain, to be honest. I would start Souček, yeah. So the players I would definitely start would be Martinez, Stones, Cancelo, Diaz, Salah, Fernandes, Son, Souček, Calvert-Lewin, and Antonio. And it's either whoever this budget midfielder is going to be or Bamford, one of the two. Either getting Grealish and CF doubles in the future. I'm picking Johnson over Martinez. Well, what did they do? What did West Brom do last time versus Fulham? They lost 2-0. So that's not good. What did Martinez do last time versus Southampton? They lost 4-3. But I think that Villa were very naive that day. But also Southampton don't have that full of a team. Barnes in for Rafinha and bench Souček. So you're thinking I should play Bamford over Souček then? I don't know. I just see Souček potentially scoring a set piece goal or something versus Liverpool. West Ham have been good. They've been real good. I would, but none of them are a good option this week. Yeah, I mean it's like flipping a coin this week. You can get heads, you can get tails. Is heads good? We'll see. Is tails good? We'll see. You know. I do like having Grealish in my team though. I like Grealish a lot because but the only problem is that if next week if he gets a yellow this week, that's mildly a problem because that means I have to play um somebody else. So let's see. Next week I would play. So Martinez has what, West Ham at home. I would probably play Johnston next week because he has Sheffield United. I play the City Boys. Who's Kufal? Kufal's got Aston Villa. Nope. He's got Wolves. No. I play Salah, Fernandez, Son. Souček has Aston Villa, so I'd play him. Grealish, if he didn't play, I couldn't play him. I play Calvert-Lewin. I guess I just play Bamford versus Everton. And then obviously I'd play Antonio. By Odoi, great potential. Yeah, great potential, but I don't want great potential on a rotation risk though. It's kind of luck that Souček scored twice last week because he played in a more defensive role after Antonio came back. Don't misunderstand. I got Souček as well, and I think he's good. I think Digne will hold. Yeah, I think he will as well. But it's just a matter of Digne getting a clean sheet depends on how slippery Jordan Pickford's fingers are this week, right? Best striker for 9.2 million, probably Antonio, because he's 6.3. I would say probably the best strikers in the game on current fitness and form that are available is Antonio, Calvert-Lewin, and probably Watkins. Everyone else is either injured or terrible. Or not in form. And I would say Bamford's probably a close fourth, but again, not been doing great. If I do bench Souček though, that's the thing. It's like, what did Souček do last time they played? They played Liverpool. He didn't do anything, and he was on a bit of a dry spell. And they did score. So Firmino, another differential. Yeah, I don't think Firmino's getting any headers that are going in the back of the net versus West Ham. I just don't see it. And then Bamford versus Leicester. The last time they played Leicester, they got slapped. They got slapped pretty good. Oh, you knew he would say, yeah. You kind of set him up for a softball. Who's exactly 9.2 million? He plays in a team that has a blue shirt that rhymes with Schmelzy. Yeah. If I go Kane to Watkins / Adams, I can afford Kufal to Trent in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I would say Watkins, probably, because Watkins, is definitely going to have some games to make up, whereas Che Adams might get a double before 26, but he's not been good. Although the Ings is back, but they haven't been looking as sharp in attack. Actually, I wouldn't mind. I think Grealish is probably okay. I was thinking Grealish over Barnes. There was this slight kind of thinking of Zaha, but at least I can back Aston Villa over Southampton for sure. Even though I did win a bet against them. I bet lunch that Southampton would beat Villa the first time they played, and I won. So I got a free lunch, nice little pasta and some garlic bread out of it. So it wasn't too bad. What about the doubles in 24? So basically, City is, if there's going to be a double in 24, City will definitely be one of those teams that gets a double. And the other one will either be Everton or Southampton. One of those two. And basically City will play them. It'll be one of those two. Trent should be a no-go. I had him last week, but too much money on something to get much cheaper. Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, James, Chilwell, Maguire, etc., etc. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If Liverpool get back to their very, very best, then you can say, okay, yeah, Trent's looking great. But Trent this season's only had that one goal and 3 assists, 2 assists the whole season. So we will see. 10 minutes till the deadline, so make sure to get your teams all sorted. I'm really debating on Grealish versus Harvey Barnes here. Really debating on it. But the problem is that Harvey Barnes is so hit or miss. But I know that Grealish is such a good player. Trent can outvalue or outplay good midfielder for lower value options. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Only problem is, how are you going to get back Kane and KDB when the time comes? I have a wild card available. I plan on using the wild card in 25 so that I can use bench boost in 26 because I still have all my chips left. Differential attacker this week, Welbeck. Welbeck's injured. At least I think he's injured. Yeah, he's got a red flag. February 6th. Couple of weeks still. I don't want KDB, to be honest, when he returns. I mean, KDB has the potential to do anything. Yeah, Welbeck's injured. Knee injury. Expected February 6th. Oh, Benteke. How much is he? 5'5". Well, Benteke is rubbish, isn't he? That's the problem. But if you're gonna go for a Crystal Palace player, you just go for Zaha. Just couldn't spell Bobby Decordova Reed. Who's on pens for Palace? Zaha. Zaha is on penalties. Assuming Milivojevic isn't on the pitch, in which case I think Milivojevic does take pens, but he hasn't been starting recently. Kind of think Zaha's underrated at the moment. I think with his fixtures it could be quite good. But I mean, the last time Grealish played Southampton, he got 15 points, although they kind of took their foot off the pedal. The last time they played West Ham, he got a goal. The last time he played Arsenal, they thrashed them. The last time they played Brighton, they lost, but they'll probably look to fix that as well. Reed versus West Brom could be good. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. Talisman player for under 8 million on penalties and plays as an attacker. Yeah, basically, he's pretty good. The problem is he plays for Crystal Palace, who don't score very many. And if you look at Zaha, so Zaha has Wolves, Newcastle, Leeds. So against Wolves last time, they lost. Against Leeds last time, they won, and he only got an assist in 4 goals. And against Newcastle, they lost because he didn't play. So yeah, Palace don't excite me too much. The player Zaha excites me, but Palace don't. Is Richarlison on pens with Sigurdsson? Well, I think Everton's only had 1 penalty this whole season. And I think that was because they gave it to Richarlison because he hadn't scored yet. So we will see. On paper, Zaha is amazing. On the field, the team is not good enough. Yeah. Imagine Zaha versus in Arsenal. Yeah. Zaha probably would be pretty good at Arsenal. Mind you, they have enough wide players as it is. Um, I'd be interested to see um, how someone like Zaha would play in Aston Villa's team. So you have him out on the left. You have Grealish through the middle. Traore out on the right. That would be scary. Come on, you gooners. Odegaard masterclass. No, we don't want that. No, that's not something we want. My team this week is Johnston, Stones, Diaz, Justin, Rudiger, Rashford, Bruno, Sterling, captain, Rafinha, Kane, and Antonio bench, Martinez, Bamford, Souček, and Kufal. I personally think that Martinez is going to do better than Johnston. I just have a hunch. And at least if I go for Grealish, I can back Martinez as well. Because I think Fulham are good. Yeah, less than 4 minutes till the deadline. 3.5 minutes to be precise. Because like if you look at trend-wise in the last 6 matches, they've got blasted by Leeds, they got blasted by Arsenal, they conceded 2 to Wolves, they conceded 2 to West Ham, they conceded 5 to Man City. Like they haven't been keeping clean sheets, West Brom. Whereas at least Martinez can say he's kept the clean sheet versus Newcastle, and at least is getting some save points in there. So, although they didn't do well versus Southampton last time, but I think that was a bit of naivety, and also Southampton's goals, like they scored 4 goals in that game, but I think their XG was like around 1. So, afraid that Odegaard might end up like Bentner, huge potential, but doesn't choose the right clubs and ends up going with nothing. I mean, he's already picked 2 bad clubs to begin with. He went to Real Madrid at 16, which makes no sense to me personally. Mind you, maybe it's just because, you know, big club, big name. And then he's choosing Arsenal. Not sure what's got into his head there. I joke, of course. I don't know what the draw of the clubs might be. I feel Southampton will score and hoping for a no-no in the West Brom Fulham game. It could end up a no-no. I think Odegaard's great. And could do well. But yeah, it's a loan without the option to buy. So I think it's good for Arsenal. Odegaard should have done like Haaland, choose like a tier 2 top team and then take a big step later. Yeah, I mean Haaland's almost certainly going to leave Dortmund next summer. Almost certainly. Will Odegaard start over Mail Smith Rowe? No, they can actually both play in the same team, but I think Smith Rowe is injured. Hey Nuka, how's it going? Joined us with less than 2 minutes left. I should probably make these transfers. So what are we saying? Grealish or Barnes? What are we saying in the chat? Grealish or Barnes? I'm thinking Grealish. Iowa says Barnes. I think I'm gonna play Grealish. This week Barnes, future Grealish. Zach has gone Harvey, says Harvey Barnes. Grealish will have several double game weeks. The thing is I can always get Grealish later too. I was also thinking Grealish in for 24 as well. Yeah, screw it. Let's go Harvey Barnes. Let's do it. Gotta be exciting. Harvey Barnes is less owned. So Harvey Barnes is in there. He's gonna play. And captaincy, I'm gonna go with. I think I'm just gonna keep Salah. I'm just gonna keep it on Salah, to be honest. I don't want to overcomplicate things. How's the bench looking? Everything's looking okay. Souček, Antonio. Yeah, looks good. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that should be the deadline. Went from 750 overall to 2.7k overall. Hey, well, at least you were in the top 1,000. You can say I've never been that close ever. Lost Kane and had to take a hit to replace him. Yeah, it's been unfortunate. What rank is people at the moment? Oh, the lol bot says pilot is unranked at the moment. Lol. Um, best rank was 33k, and that was last season. That was the first major season that I played. So, the best rank that I've had was, I think it was like 15k-ish, 10k-ish. I can't remember. Made the last second change, got Cancelo for -4. I think that is a good change. So yeah. Yep, so the game is updating now. But yeah, let's move over to the big screen here. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been a good deadline stream. We've been very interactive with the chat. I love how the lol bot at the end says I'm unranked, which is true because I don't think I played ranked in League of Legends this season. But hoping for a Newcastle masterclass. Don't see it coming, to be honest. I think Newcastle has been pretty bad. Zodiac says thank you for streaming. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you Mono for coming as well. Thank you Zaka. Thank you Harry. Thank you all of you that have joined the stream. When we'll be streaming next, it will be tomorrow, actually. It will be tomorrow because all the games finish on Sunday. So we'll do a stream on Sunday. We'll have a video out. Actually, no, it's going to be stream on Sunday. And then stream on Monday. Because there's two games, the 2 game weeks in close proximity. So no videos. It's going to be a stream tomorrow. After the games, and then it's going to be a stream for the deadline stream, both at 7 p.m. EST tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. Sunday reaction video just after the games. That's going to be on the stream. So basically, once so all the fixtures, so EPL fixtures. Just going to look it up here. So. The last game finishes at 4:15 EST. Basically we'll be live a couple hours after that. But 7 p.m. EST is when we go live. I'll put a pinned comment on this video when it goes up over on YouTube. But yeah. And we should be 7 p.m. EST tomorrow. It'll be 7 p.m. EST on Monday evening as well, and then there'll be videos Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably nothing on Friday, and then deadline stream on Saturday. So but I'll think of something and I'll post it over on Twitch as we usually do. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you are watching this VOD over on YouTube, make sure to come over here and follow us over on Twitch. This is where we do all the live streams, and this is where the great content comes from, and the interactivity in the chat has been fantastic today. So thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.